Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today is October 8, 2022. Hope you're all doing well. In today's segment, we'll take a look at unusual whales and see if it's worth your money. As many of you know, Unusual Whales is a option flow platform which can be used by option trader, and this can also be used by stock traders and swing traders. So with that, let's jump in and get started. Look, as you look into the pricing information, you could click on view pricing, and it's got various tiers as you can see here. If you are a beginner, start with the free shamu here. It's a $0 as you can see here, and you will get 15 minutes delayed alerts, which can be okay for you to get started. And you got earnings data and options calculator. And if you're a little bit serious trader, you could go into the next plan here, which is $32 per month, which is around 384 per year. And with this plan, as you can see here, you get 15-minute delayed data, which is options flow, and you get dark pool data. This is where you can look at some of the dark pool activities, which is not publicly available. And then you can look at unusual alerts, and as you can see, mobile application, you could put it in your cell phone, and there is a Discord access and news feed and the earnings data. So what I recommend is really the next plan here, which is a super live buffet plan here. So with this super live buffet plan, it's $42 per month. As you see here from buffet, it's not very expensive, $10 more here, but you'll get a lot of features in this option here. So as you can see here, you get a live option flow here, and look, you got enhanced option flow tools, and you get dark pool, unusual option alerts, and look, you got live charting tools here and mobile application, which is great. And few of my favorites here, you got as you can see here, we got earnings data, options profit calculator, and also more importantly, you got some TA tools here, live charting and TA tools. I think it's worth paying the money for, especially for some of these activities here. So with that, let's jump in and into a little more detail on this tool and get started. All right, so if you're getting started, probably start with free shamu here, and don't waste your time on the buffet here. Instead, just go into super live buffet. Try it for a month or so if you like it, and if you don't like it, you can discontinue. But if you like it, you could go into a little bit cheaper plan here, maybe a tri-annual plan here, which is also good, and go from there. These guys it's a small shop, as many of you know here, and they're trying to really build this platform and keep it very competitive. And as you can see here, they bring up new features all the time. So with that, let's jump in. Look, as you log into the platform, I typically go into the flow tool here. That's where I start. As you go into the flow tool here, I can reset all the filters, start fresh here. Look, you'll get something like this. And this is really too much for anybody to look at. Look, I may not like all these SPX. I mean, I like SPX, don't get me wrong, but when you look at a trade activity, SPX is given. You don't need to worry too much about SPX. It's always good volume. Instead, you got to look at stocks and see whether it's bullish or bearish. SPX, you can use it very well. We look into that also, but let's start with stocks. So what I would recommend here is really start with the emojis here. In the emojis, you can look at various things here. You got ask side, bid side. Don't worry too much, keep it as it is. And I would say just get into keep going down here. You can exclude ETFs. Click on this here, so you don't look at ETFs to begin with. Start with stocks so that we can build your watch list. So let's select ETF here. And index also, just let's get rid of it for now. So you focus on stocks to begin with, and you can have a separate watch list for index. There you go. Now we got rid of all these ETFs to begin with. Look, we got some VXX here. Let's get rid of the volatility products here. So you can go down here and get rid of volatility products. No more VXX here. So that should take care of the most of the activities. Off late, probably, get rid of SPACs. I would say SPACs are not doing great. You could get rid of it, or you can leave it as it is. Not a big deal here. All right, that's about the emojis here. The way these emojis work here is really, it's like a multiple or condition here. You can say this or this or this. It's really a big or clause, as you can see here. So with that, let's close these emojis here. And next thing we'll look at is really the premium range. So premium range, there is no magic formula here. If your stock is small, like small meaning low price stock, then you have to set a smaller premium range. For example, we got CS here, which is Credit Suisse. Look at the price here, just $6 right now. Sorry, price is really $4.80. So probably I would say start with maybe 10K for now, and depending on what stock you look, you can change it. Now we are looking at a broad brush here. We can say 10,000 to begin with. There you go, we got 10,000 to begin with. That will get rid of a lot of smaller premium stocks. And many of you may not want to look at too long term. Many folks want to do swing trading. So if you're a swing trader, I would say go into right here. There is a day to expiration. Many times folks want to see how the stocks might do next week or next month. Typically, I recommend, depending on your trading horizon, I would say maybe 50 days is a good time frame here. Don't go beyond unless you are a long-term trader. I would say 50 to 60 days is good enough, and you can start with that. Look, we got a nice set of activities here. And many times you want to be directionally trying to see where the stock might go. So you could go all the way down here. Look, this platform already puts a bid ask range for you. If the bid ask spread is more than $2, it will exclude it. I think that's a good setting. You could even make it less if you want to, but that's a good enough setting here. And there's a volume range here. If a option volume is low, probably it's not worth your while. So you could say option volume, I say typically 100 could be a good one here. So you could say 100, depending on what time you're trading. If you trade early in the morning, probably you could remove this. You don't need to have range. But as the day progresses, option volume will increase. As many of you know here, option volume is the volume on a particular day. That's why in the morning the volume will be low. Whereas the option open interest is really options which is held by the folks. For example, if there is an Apple option expiring next week, if the option is 10,000, that means there is a good 10,000 quantity, and folks are holding that option, hanging on to it. They might have bought it yesterday, day before yesterday, and so on and so forth. That open interest changes on a nightly basis or a daily basis, once a day. Whereas option volume is today's volume, whereas open interest is cumulative volume over the period of time. So I say, you could say 100 or even 1,000 is a good one. Probably let's start with 100. So that way you want the stocks to have good open volume. And then we got a few more here. You got percentage of difference here. If you are a person who want to, have look at the strike price below the stock price, you could use this one here. Let's go with the normal setting here. And then you got a few more here, or volume or open interest. I would keep it as it is, and I would depending on what you want to do here, there is also today's trade only. If you want to look at today's trade, like 1 day trade, you could go with today's trade, which could be a good start to begin with. And I would say, for example, if you are a directional type trader here, probably you don't like to look at multi-leg. I would say start with a single trade only, so you could get rid of some more activities. So when somebody trades a single leg, that means they have conviction on the direction. That's why you could go with the single leg. And if you want to really see the direction and some speculative plays, you could go with the OTM only. That tells you these folks are really playing the direction and they're putting some money. Now they're not going in the money, which is a little more comfortable. They're going out of the money and sticking their head and betting on the market. So you could click on this also if you're a trying to look at some speculative position and look at how folks are doing the out of money. So that's a good one here. So we got a nice set of activities here, as you can see here. Look, there's a lot of Tesla here. As you can see, Tesla is a very good day trading stock, as many of you know here. If you don't want to look at Tesla, this particular platform gives you a very good idea. You could just say here, go to the filter here, and you could say let's go back here and filters. You could go to the filter here and you could say minus Tesla. If the moment you say minus Tesla TSLA, you will basically remove the Tesla from the watch list. You could do some more here. If you see something that you don't really trade, you could just say minus and it will get rid of it. So for now, let's have Tesla also, no big deal, and go from there. All right, so we got a nice set of stocks here. You could go with this here. So look, I will collapse this here for now. So look, the moment I collapse this, you will see here we got bullish on Netflix, as you can see here. Let's go in here. Netflix, if there is a activity happened on 10/7 toward the end of the day. As you can see here, somebody is buying Netflix. It's a call option, 230 strike price, as you can see here. And look, the contract, its expiration date is 10/21, 13 days out. Stock price is 224, as you can see here. And the strike price is 230. Somebody's really bullish. Look, there is an emoji tag here. It's a bullish trade here, and they're putting some money on the table, not too much. Premium is 34K. That tells you toward the end of the day somebody became bullish and they're really buying this here. And we got a few more things going on here. For example, you might want to look at more premium. If you want to be really, many times, toward the end of the day, we could raise the premium here. I would say just go here and just raise the premium here, and instead of 10,000 as you have it here, make it 100,000. So let's look at some big players here. The moment you make 100,000 here, look, we got a bunch of Tesla at the top here. Look, Tesla, we got a bullish position going on, coming up here toward the end of the close here, 10/7, and somebody is betting around 100K, as you can see here. And look, 12 days out, 10/21, they're buying the put option. Look, stock price is at 223 right now, and they're really selling the put option at 216. That's a bullish play here. They're selling it, and look, it's a bullish. The way this platform tags the bullish or bearish is pretty well understood in the industry. Look at the bid ask spread here. It's a 10.15 to 10.20, just $5 bid ask spread. That tells you Tesla is very liquid. And look, right now spot price is 10.15, which is toward the bid. So whenever you see a put options at the bid, that tells you it's a bullish. That's why it's tagged as bullish, as you can see here. And look, there is an open interest here. Open interest is 12.K. Volume is 862, which is pretty healthy, not a big deal. Sometimes you'll see volume over open interest. In this case, it's not the case, which is pretty okay, not a big deal here. So with that, it's a bullish here for Tesla, and looks like somebody is buying Tesla here. Put option here, 220 put. That's obviously bearish, as you can see here, mainly because look, you got bid-ask spread here, 645, 650. This happened at the ask, which is 650. That tells you it's a bearish. That's how it's tagged as bearish here. All right, now we got that settled down here. You get a nice view of bearish and bullish, as you can see here, and pay very close attention to these flags. These flags are one of the greatest feature. Many folks will set their filter just for the flags and go from there. Look, we got a floor trader right here, and this floor trader is putting down around $383,000, and the floor trader is buying Carnival Cruise Line put 6.5 put here, is trading at 6.75, as you can see here. It's a bearish play here. Probably this person knows something, that this stock might go down. That's why they're putting money here and doing a bearish play here. All right, one more thing, as you click on this here, look, as you click on this here, it tells you few information about this. Tells you the market cap, the sector, more importantly the earnings. I love to look at this earnings date here, 12/19/2022, 17 days out. That's a very good feature here. As you look at this here, it tells you volume greater than open interest. Those are the good ones here. The moment is a volume greater than open interest, that tells you today's volume is higher. Look here, volume is 49.1k, open interest is 9.8. That's a clue for you here. That tells you, hey, there's more demand for this this option with the strike price here. And keep watching here. There is also one more here. Trade was part of the flow alert. You can look at more detail. We'll look at some of those things here. And the moment you see sweep here, sweep, as many of you know here, it's a market order, and it can be split into multiple exchanges. The moment you see sweep and bullish, that tells you somebody is putting some money here. Look, 104k, and regardless of the price, they want to buy. That's a good bullish play here. Look, Meta. Looks like Meta has a bullish play here. Many folks will just set alert for these sweeps and floors and just trade off of that and make a good money. That's a very good play here. All right, so we got a few more things that we'll not go into detail. So that's about flow here. Key things to understand is look at the volume, the open interest, and the emojis like bullish or bearish, and those are the main things for you to look at. All right, let's go back here and make it a little bit bigger, and let's go into a few more areas. All right, go back to menu here. Next is look, we got a few more things going on. We'll explore into a few more things here, and then we'll conclude. Let's go into hot chains. Hot chains is one of my favorite plays in this platform here. As you click on hot chains, look, you got all these hot chains here. Mainly I love to look at individual stocks and look at their hot chain. For example, let's look at one of my favorite stock of late here, which is AMD, which came down drastically, as many of you know here. All right, so looks like let's remove this here. Hot chain is a collection of hot chains, as you can see here. Let's close this here. We can look at these hot chains. What this is saying is right now we got Tilray here, and last trade was just before the close, as you can see here. Somebody just buying 3 put here, and they're putting some money here. Look, last price was 0.14, and we got here change slightly negative, as you can see here. So this is telling you these are the hot chains, so you get a good idea what's going on here, and it gives you some more details. And look, there is a bullish premium 202k, bearish premium around 119. That tells you there is something going on here. Probably this is more bullish. As you can see here, it is in the healthcare. Many of you know Tilray very well. It's into cannabis industry, but it's not too much money. As you can see here, just 3 put contracts. So in a nutshell here, by looking at this, you get a good idea what are the hot chains, and you could trade along with some of these hot chain here and make some money using these hot chains. All right, so let's jump into next one here and go into the live flow, live tracker flow here. So we looked at the live flow before, and now we are looking at live ticker flow. As you can see here, this tells you the top 10 tickers in the flow here. We got a few things going on here. Let's collapse this here. So it kind of gives you some more information here. Look, we got SPY, which is S&P 500 ETF. 362.79 is the price. Change is negative right now. Option volume, put call ratio. The moment put call ratio is high, that tells you there are more put options traded than call options. It's slightly bearish. We got call option here 4.2, and we got put volume, and volume versus 30-day volume. Looks like volume is increasing compared to the 30-day volume, mainly because of the negative activity in the market. And you got options premium, both call and put premium. Look, folks are really buying put option. That's why put premium is high. And it also gives you the bull and bear. Look, bear is 51%, and bull is just remaining 49%, as you can see here. And if there's an earning, it will give the earning state and so on and so forth. It tells you very, in a good nutshell here. You can get an idea what's bullish, what's bearish. Of course, because market is dropping big time here, most of the flows are bearish off late, especially last Friday. And then you got a few more things. If you want some live alerts, you could go in here. There are some live alerts here. You can use this also. It's also one of my favorite tool here. Right now I set it for Apple here. You can go back and set it for AMD as an example. Look, they kind of give a very good picture of what's going on here. Look, we got repeated hits. We got AMD 55 put here, date to expiration 159, and look, there is a nice bearish sentiment here. So this is a good idea here. You know what's going on here. We got repeated put here going on here, and by looking at this, you can understand these are bearish type sentiment because AMD had earnings, and the forecast was not good. That's why people are buying these put options, as you can see here. And we got here AMD repeated hits, ascending fill. That's also not a great sign here. Looks like ascending fill, meaning stock is really not doing great. And by looking at this, looks like folks are really doing the bullish play also here. 368k here. You can look at call option here, 60 days out. You could look at such things here, and you could go along. As usual, don't just go and buy based on these bull and bear. Always go into a charting platform like the one I use, which is TradingView here. For example, AMD, you saw something bullish here. Look at the chart and see what's going on here. I would go into a 4-hour chart if you're a swing trader. Look what's going on here. AMD dropping big time, as you can see here. And you keep watching here. Look, AMD, and as you see here, AMD is look, earnings wise, not look at the performance here. It's pretty not great this year. All the semiconductor stocks are selling off here. Analyst ratings are neutral. So what you could do in such scenarios, just by looking at the chart here, look, I got here lazy bear indicator, which is squeeze indicator. Look, that's telling you it's going down here. I'm not in a hurry right now. I would be waiting. But if you're a long term buyer, you could buy some call options, or you could buy the stock here even it's down big time. And you could go to 1 day chart here. As you go into 1 day chart here, look, right now point of control is 80, but stock is at 58, as you can see here. So it could be a good one to slowly buy. Look, in a 1 day chart, look here, the red bar is slightly getting shorter. That tells you that it's a, this stock can go higher. All right, let's go back to flow alert. The point I wanted to make is, don't just go by what others are doing by looking at this. Instead, go into the chart and look at the support resistance level and do a little more digging. All right, next let's go into one more here, Superflow. Superflow is a new thing here with the Unusualwhales. I think I really like this one here. It's a good modular type play here. You could add a window, as you can see here. You can click on add window here, and you can select a component, what component you want to add. For example, you might want to add a flow table or a live chart. Let's choose live chart here and add a window. Now we got a live chart window here, so you can look at the live chart. Look, this live chart looks like it's from looks like it's from trading view. I think they've done a good job integrating here. And now we got here live chart. You could change your time frame. It's a 1 minute chart right now. You could go here and you could say 1 day chart here. Look, we got a nice 1 day chart in AMD here, and you could change the candle, whatever you want to see here. You could go into a colored bar or a candle. Let's use regular candle here and go from there. Colored candle. We got various choices, as you can see here. That's I think we are okay with the regular candle here. Look, we got nice chart here, and if you want to add other things, you can add other things. And look, main thing is, look at here, you can detach this here. If you have a big monitor or a couple monitors, you could detach this. It can go into its own screen. This can go in its own screen, so you can do some good analysis. So a tool like this will help you. So as you look through here, you could click on some of these things here and do some analysis right away, side by side. For example, we got SPX here. You want to do some analysis on SPX here, you could bring it up and do some analysis on SPX, as you can see here. All right, let's go back here to our Superflow here, and I just want to show you can look at this here and do some analysis and go from there. You could also do your filters here. For example, you don't want to look at all the stocks and you just want to look at AMD. You could just do that here, and you could look at your Superflow just for AMD here. Look, toward the end of the market here, there is a buy 56 put, as you can see here. That's I think this is 10.7. So that's a little bearish sentiment. You get the idea here. You get a nice flow. You could add a couple of components here and make it your own. All right, so now let's go into a few more areas here and go from there. All right, so we are in the Superflow here. Next, you could go into the dark flow here. Look, dark flow is for some of these traders, especially these big players, they don't go into the regular way to trade. Instead, they will do something in the call it a dark pool. It's a restricted, everybody cannot see what they're doing, and these will be reported a day later. So for example, you could look at AMD here as an example. Look, AMD, we got a lot of dark pool activities here. We got a premium 252K. We got $58 price tag here. You don't know whether it's buy or sell conclusively, but it's a data point here. You can't you have to analyze this carefully to see if it is bullish or bearish. That's one of the reason unusual whales will not tag this as a bullish or bearish. Instead, they will just give you the dark pool data, and you have to make a sense out of it by scanning through it, by looking at the price and the current price and the size. You have to make your own assumption, and also look at the chart. And then you got watch list here. If you have if you want to look at a couple stocks here, I added a couple of stocks here. You could look at those. I got my ETF list here. Look, the way it works is you got price, change, percentage change, volume. I got 30-day volume, market cap, day range, 52-week range, earnings. So if I look at my stock list here, that's the ETF list. I got a stock list here. You could just look at that. Also nice earning date here. So it's a good idea what's going on. You can get a good idea here. It's a good handy tool here. Nothing great, but look, you can look at pre-market and regular market and post-market. It's a good one to get some idea here. And as you can see here, many of you may not want to look at, you might want to look at one area. For example, you're a technology guy, you could click on technology here. You can look at all the technology stocks, and you could sort it by market cap and look at their earnings date and so on and so forth. A nice handy view here, and you could do some more analysis. Next is live charting. We looked at this slightly before here. Look, we got a nice chart here. This chart is primarily probably from trading view, as you can see here. Nice looking chart here. You can change the candlesticks. I know some of you want to look at Hockey Ashi chart here. You could click on that, you'll get that too here. And nice chart here. And you could change back to candlesticks here. You could change your time frame to whatever you want to do it. You could add your earnings, as you can see here. For example, let me add earnings. You'll looks like, let's see here. Yeah, in this one earnings already happened, but you get the idea. You can add the earnings dates and events and so on and so forth here. Looks like this all right now it's disabled here, chart event perspective. And you could set your alerts as example. So it's a good handy tool. You could look at the chart side by side here. Nothing fancy here, something similar to trading view, as many of you can see here. And one of my favorite topic is really intraday analyst here. It tells you how is your stock doing on an intraday basis here. Look, we got Apple here. You could do some nice analysis by looking at this here. Right now, we got here Apple's nice looking chart here. This is a price chart. Look, Apple came down big time, went up, came down. We got dates here, 29 September, 3rd October, 5th October, so on and so forth. They also charted the put call ratio. Let's see here. We got here volume. There are multiple things going on here. You could click on put call volume here. You'll get the put volume, call volume, as the stock is dropping off here, trying to stabilize. Look, there is a nice put volume here, nice put volume, but there's also nice call volume. You get a good idea on the put call volume as the time goes by. And look, there is also a nice looking chart here. It tells you the price in the blue line here. Right here, price is coming down, and then you got gamma score here. Gamma score is a pink line, as you can see here. Right there, gamma score is also coming down, picking up slightly. That tells you stock is stabilizing right now. Folks are buying call options. That's why gamma score is going higher, but nowhere top. Then you got the flow ratio right here. Flow ratio indicates flow is pretty healthy. It's increasing. Then you got COPE here, as you see here. COPE, it's trending higher, as you can see here. And if you want to see what's COPE, they got some nice explanation here. COPE stands for cumulative option premium effect, and it's a measurement of given stocks bid side versus ask side premium. COPE gives a good idea. You can look at how COPE is doing. If the COPE is trending higher, that could be good. There is more information in this thread, as you can see here. All right, so that's about the COPE here. And as you can see here, I love intraday option volume here. Kind of tells you how is the option going as the day goes along. Look, 9:30 in the morning, a nice put option, call option volume here. It also tells you put call ratio. It's a very good tool here. As time goes by, look, toward the end of the day, we got nice put option. Folks are more bearish. We got call also here, more put options, as you can see here. It gives a good idea what's going on here. We got a nice stock chart here with the yellow line here. Stock is coming down. Obviously there will be more put options. That's what's going on here. All right, this is one of my favorite topic here. This is the most active chains. Many of the folks who go into any of the platform like Thinkorswim. Let me go into Thinkorswim right here. If you bring up Apple here, you don't know what to look at. Look here, we got a lot of options chain here. You don't know what to open. Whereas this platform here, it tells you, what, look at 140 put, 10.7, which is already happened. You can ignore the ones that are already happened here, but you can look at the future. Look, we got 10.14, as you can see here, right here, 10.14 right over here. And that's a hot chain here. Look, we got a 140 put, 10.14, 5 days out. And look at the nice bid ask range here, not too much here. And you could so you got low, high, bid ask, and volume. Look, 10.14 here, a nice volume and open interest. Look, this is hot because there is more volume than open interest in this scenario. You could go along with this, and you could trade this put option here. So for example, if you go back to Apple 140 put in my Thinkorswim platform here, 10.14, 140, I'll go right here, 140. Look, there is a nice open volume here. Volume is more than the open interest here. Open interest is 8k, volume is 37. That tells you folks are really trading put option here. Stock being at 140, they're putting some money, buying some put option so that they can prepare. If the stock goes down, they can benefit from it. All right, that's one of the hot thread here. So it kind of gives you a hot chain here. You don't need to go into a Thinkorswim or other platform, wonder what to do here. Instead, they tell you what are the hot chains. If you're a call option buyer, as an example, you can go into 12.16, 68 days out. You could go in, bid and ask spread. It's pretty okay, not too bad here. And look, in this case, it's a neutral. It tells you bullish, bearish, and neutral. Right now, it's a neutral one. You could buy, in this case, put option here. You could trade put option here, 150 here. Probably you can buy 150. It's above the current price. And if you're a call option buyer, you could buy some call option here. Look, 5 days out, you could pay some, not too much. Bid ask spread is pretty low here. So it gives you an idea. It tells you what call options, what put options, what strike are hot chain, and you could just trade those and make some money versus trading, option chains where the volume is low. Always give importance to volume and open interest and trade those. Don't go after low volume, low open interest. Especially I love when the volume is over the open interest. All right, that's about the hot or most active chains, or hot chains as you call it. Then you got chains with the highest open volume. Look, over the period of time, open interest can become more and more, as many of you know here. This tells you people are hanging on to their contracts. They're not closing it, they're keeping it open. So these are the highest open interest. I would look at highest open interest plus highest volume. Those could be a good ones to trade, but it gives you a very good idea. You don't need to sift through the option chain to wonder what to buy. Normally when you have nice open interest, nice volume. You could trade such option chain and go from there. Look, it also tells you the premium, the put premium and call premium. Looks like call premium is more here, or the actually bullish premium is more. That tells you people are more bullish here. So you could, for example, you could even, if you're a little bit daredevil here, if you love Apple, you could really sell some 140 put here, collect some nice money here, around $400 as you can see here. You get a good idea here. I love this hot chain here. More importantly, look, we got biggest options trade here. Folks have traded option here. It tells you what are the biggest options trade on 10/7, which is last Friday. It's a good one here. We could even collapse this here and look at few more activities here. Look, there is a cross here. Cross is where broker executes. They match what you sold and what I bought together into one cross. That tells you some good idea. There's a floor trader and he's acting. He's really putting some money here and doing the selling the put option here. That's a positive one here. The moment you see here a bull, that's a bullish, and if it's a bear, it's a bearish. It's a good indication. I like this. And you got biggest movers here. Look, folks have bought and sold, and tells you how much they've made money or lost money here. Looks like a lot of these options have changed. The nice percentage change here. If you're on the right side, you made nice money here. And the list goes on. That's pretty much in here. Let's go back here to the next section here. Trading journal. If you're putting a trading journal and entering your trade, you could create a nice journal here. As you can see, I don't have trading journal yet. And then you got hot chains and trigger. You saw hot chains that are really live, and they also have a hot chain and ticker here. This is not live, as you can see here. This this is as of Sunday Sunday October 9th. It's not live. They compile this and give it to you. It's a 15-minute delayed, as you can see here, not live like before. This is also very good information. I love this also here. It tells you, this is a very good tool. Let's collapse this here. For example, right now we got many of these ETFs and Tesla, so on and so forth here. You can click on hide ETF. Now ETFs are gone. Look, we got all this Tesla and so on and so forth here. It tells you what's going on. Tesla, what's call volume, what's put volume, and so on and so forth. And then you got hot chains here. What you can also do is, for example, you don't want to look at all the sectors here. You want to look at one sector. You could just click on technology as an example, or you're an energy guy. You can click on energy, and now you'll get all the energy stocks here. You can see put volume, call volume, put premium. You can look at the call premium and so on and so forth here. A very good information here. Just by glancing through this, you will know whether it's a bullish or bearish. For example, here PBR, we got put volume 170k, call volume we got 48k. It's slightly like tilted to the bearish side here, as you can see here. It gives a good idea. Let's go back to our technology for a moment here. You get all these big technology companies here, but you know what, you don't want big cap, you want say mid cap. You could click on mid cap here. Look at just mid cap stocks here, and you can look at the corresponding hot chains. It's a very good tool here for the folks who are challenged to really understand what stocks, what options to choose. It's a very handy tool here. Alright, that's looks like that's taking a little bit time here, because on the mid cap, as many of you know here, there is not too many active chains here. Let's go back to the big cap or even large cap for that matter. You might get some data, and it may be a little bit slow because it's a night time right now. These guys might be crunching some data to get us ready for Monday. Alright, that's about the hot chain and trigger here. I like this tool here. Just by looking at this, you can understand what the hot chain and ticker and go from there. Let's go back to the normal view here. Let's say all sectors, and let's look at there you go. We got all sectors right now. Look, these are the hot chains here. If you want to trade a option here, just go by these hot chains here. You'll most probably you'll these are the very active ones here, and you could as usual look at the chart. For example, you got Ford here. Don't just say it's a hot chain, let me go and buy Ford. That's not how it works here. You look at this Ford, go back to the chart here and bring up Ford. That's how it works here. Don't just go by gospel, hey, there is something, let me trade. Look, by looking at this Ford here, you can see here, look, chart is trending up slightly. Stock is also trying to go here. At this time, I would initiate a trade in Ford. No big deal. It's a good company, beaten down big time, trying to go higher. So that's how you research here. Don't just go by what you see. Instead, just look at the chart. We got a few more, as you can see here. All right, that's about hot chain. This hot chain is really 15 minutes delayed, whereas the other hot chain that we saw is real time. All right, then there's a correlation explorer. If you really want to see how is the correlation of Tesla with other stocks, you can get a good idea here. As an example, Tesla and FLNC, they're correlated 91.24. It gives you an idea what's going on. Right now it's probably it's not the not there is no scientific things here. It kind of looks at the correlation. And if you want to look at Apple as an example, APL, you could do that too. Kind of gives a good idea how is the correlation of Apple with other stocks. And if you want to build a balanced portfolio, you don't want things to be correlated too much here. Looks like APL. There you go. You don't want to be looking at if you're building a balanced portfolio, you should look at stocks that are not correlated well. So you could go all the way down here. Look, Apple and say Vulcan Materials, they're not very correlated. You could pick such candidates if you want to build some balanced portfolio. All right, let's go down here. We got sectors flow. You could in the morning or in the mid-time, middle of the day, you could look at how the sectors are doing. Look, we got sector S&P 500 down, communication down, so on and so forth. Consumer discretionary down big time, technology down. And you can look at the volume and call volume, put volume. Will give you a good idea what's going on here. By just looking at this, you can see here consumer discretionary down big time, and then you got technology down big time. Gives a good idea. And then there's a heat map. I love this heat map here. You could change the heat map, S&P 500 and various things here. Let's keep it S&P 500. Gives you a nice one-day heat map, as you can see here. And look, it has got more things going on here. And as you can see here, it's a nice heat map. Look on the we got here nice heat map at the top here. This is the S&P 500 heat map, and then you got some more details here as you can see here. All right, that's about the heat map here. Then there's a chain and open interest explorer. It's also a good tool here. You could just go here and it tells you the chain and look this open interest change here. For example, look, it tells you the chain itself, HYG and so on and so forth, SPY, days to expiration. And look, there is a open interest change. It's right now it's a nice up change here. Open interest is more, and percentage change and previous value gives a good idea what's going on here. You could use this for your research here. If the open interest is increasing, that's a good sign here. Folks are really trading options. That's a good idea. The open interest is decreasing. That's not a great idea. You get a good idea. Also, there is sentiment here, as you can see here. For example, HYG, there is a lot of bear sentiment, as you can see here. And if you see something else here, look, VIX, there is a lot of bullish sentiment. Folks are trading VIX call option, 130-day out, as you can see here. that's about this here. Then there is a ticker and OI change. By ticker, it tells you put volume, call volume. It gives a very good eye chart here. Quickly by looking at this, Apple itself is a big put volume here. Folks are afraid. Same story, SPY, SPX, folks are a little bit afraid. They're buying put option more here. Whereas AMD, right now it's balanced here. It came down drastically. Meta is positive. You get a good idea here. What's going on. So by looking at this, you can make some good indication and some trading decisions. As usual, look at the chart always. Look, put call ratio tells you what's going on here, what's bullish, what's bearish. For example, right here, Nvidia is getting better right now. It's a more call volume, as you can see here. Whereas TQQQ, it's inverse of it's a TQQQ has got a lot of call volume, as you can see here. It's really looks like it's going higher now. Folks are buying TQQQ, which is really a leveraged ETF, as many of you know here. Just by looking at this, you get a good idea what's going on. You got call volume, put volume, and so on and so forth. All right, so we are in right here. Then there is a live news flow. If you want to look at the news flow here, there is a nice live news flow. You can look at this and see what's going on here. It's a good one to watch once in a while. All right, so now we got options dashboard. You could look at options dashboard here, and it tells you bullish, bearish, all caps. I think by looking at this, you know what's bullish, what's bearish. Look, we got here a nice option chain here, most bullish chains. You could also click on hide ETF here. If you want to trade options, you don't know what to trade, you can just look at this here and go from there. These are the very hot chains right now. And you could also look at sectors, caps. For example, you want big cap, you could just go here 50 plus, or a large cap, you could go right here. Look, we could even say hide ETF here. All right, so these are some of the big ones here. We could go after this, and you could also go here instead of large. If you want mid cap, you could go there too. Look, we got mid cap here, ARKK, so on and so forth. Yeah, even though I said hide ETF, looks like it's giving some ETFs also here, but I think these folks are working on it. You get the idea. Just by looking at this, you get a good idea on what are the hot chains here. Most bullish chains are the first one here. Tesla 230 is a good bullish chain right now. You could do some more research and go from there. Then there is bearish chain here. You could do same thing here. You could say hide index and ETF, and you could go into all caps. That's good enough. Look, Tesla is doing well. Looks like it's a bearish, as you can see here. And you could also look at various other caps here. You get a good idea what to trade. Just by looking at this, these are the bearish chains. You might want to buy some put option, or you might want to buy some put spreads. And then you got unusual chains here. This is where we got unusual option activities. As you can see here, we got put call and so on and so forth. We got IV, or implied volatility here. These are unusual. You can look at these chains here, and if you want to look at different caps here, maybe you are into large cap. Look, these are the unusual chains. And look, you could look, when the volume is low here, don't go into too much here. But when the volume is a little bit higher, you could look at trading such names here, of course, after doing some research here. All right, now you got most active weeklies and most active weeklies and so on and so forth. You can look at this here, high IV chain for the put option sellers or the premium sellers. You could look at this high IV chains here and make some money off of these high IV chains. All right, so that's about okay, we got a few more things. Largest trades is also a good one here. You'll always want to know what are the largest trades. You could do same thing here, hide and go into caps. Maybe you are into large cap, you could look at large cap names. This is where there is a lot of large floor trades. You could go along with this. Let's there you go. And you could go into, say, mid cap. You'll get some mid cap names here. We could do a little more research. These are the active largest floor trades, as you can see here. Unusual floor trades and so on and so forth here. I think we are right here. And then you got market events. For example, you don't know what to trade. You want to look at maybe halts and passes, holidays and close. You get some market type events in this one here. So these are the some good features here. And I also like their extra here. You could go into extra. For example, you could look at the heat maps. I like one of their heat maps here. For example, if I go in here, let it pull through here. We looked at this S&P 500 heat map, but more importantly, I love their put call ratio heat map. Look, Apple put call ratio is high. That tells you right now folks are a little bit afraid they're buying put option, whereas Microsoft not so much. And look at Google, I think it's pretty healthy right now. Folks are not as much afraid. They're not buying put options aggressively like Apple here. Texas Instruments, folks are buying put option. And same thing with the Nvidia and Avago. Gives a good idea here what could be bearish, where there's a red put call ratio is more than 1. What could be bullish, where the put call ratio is below 1. I like the ones where put call ratio is even lower, like say 0.4. Look, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, these are all below. Look, Pepsi is 0.4. That tells you Pepsi is bullish right now. Procter and Gamble is bullish. So you get the idea here. All right, so it's got very good tools here. I think we looked at many of these already. So very good tools. I love it. Overall, it's a good platform here. One more thing I want to touch on is really short data. If you're a short type person here, you want to do some stock and look at the short activities, you can go in here. Your favorite stock could be AMC for short squeeze. You could just take a look at the map here. Look what's going on here. We got AMC short interest here. Look, nice looking chart here. It draws the short interest. Look, short interest was high. Now it's coming down here. It's 10/21/2022. You got a good idea what's going on here from a short interest perspective. It also gives you some more details here. Number of shares available. Look, it's coming down slightly. That tells you folks are the number of shares available is becoming less, which is a good idea. All right, so we got a few more extras here. We will not cover all of them, but overall I think it's a good platform. I typically get up in the morning and look at the flows, and I got few of my favorite filters. As you can see here, you could create your custom filters under watch list. Here I got my custom filters. Look, I got here stock sweep. Typically I look at the morning and look at some sweeps. That's where these are directional plays here. Look, we got some nice sweeps going on here. I can collapse this, all these nice sweeps. I could go bullish or bearish by doing some research here. And these folks also give you some filters on their own. These are preset views. They got your large bearish flow. If you want to trade bearish, the big whales, and so on and so forth. You could look at just this here to begin with. Let's look at the big whales here. Look, they got some big whales here, QQQSPY, so on and so forth here. If you don't want to look at these tickers, you could go back here and go into the emoji settings here and just say I do not want to see the ETFs. You can just click here. I do not want to see index. Now you get the big whales, which are not ETFs, not index. Look, we got now nice amount of big whales here. You could do some more research here. As usual, don't just go by this and hey, you know what, somebody puts a lot of money here, $2.38 million in Meta, let me go buy Meta stock. No, that's not how it works. Always open up the chart here. For example, Meta, you go into the chart here and give Meta, and do little more research here. And looking at the Meta right now, look, Meta stock came down drastically. Look, nice downturn here, and Meta is trying to go higher. That's a good sign here. And you could also want to look at what Meta is doing here. Look, there is a tech roundup and some more details. And by looking at this, you'll know what's going on with Meta here. Look, there is a market is closed and Meta is coming down. The next earning is October 26, which is around the corner. So around the earnings, you got to be careful with the option plays here. If I were you, I would wait. If you want to do some short term, you could do it here. But otherwise, I would wait till the earnings is done and then go from there. All right, so that's about option Unusual Whales. In a nutshell, I think it's a great platform. And one more thing I want to show you is really, many times when I want to look at a stock, I want to look at some confirmation, I go to this tool. For example, I love, let's take a stock like AMD. AMD came down drastically. I just click on AMD here. Look at the flow, what's going on here. Look, AMD 532, 1532, 1439. As you see here, there is a cross, neutral, bearish, bullish. Somebody put 1.3 million here. That's the directional flow. Just by looking at this, you get a good idea here. Looks like some neutral, bullish. So by looking at this, I make my trading decisions. I can also sort this by premium here. I can look at the big premiums just by looking at this here. Look, these are big premium plays. Look at the premium here. Look, we got DT premium, big premium here, and some of them are neutral. Folks really doing some neutral play here, and there's a big bearish here with 1.25 bullish and neutral. So right now it tells you, hey, it's mixed here, don't do any drastic things. The moment you say mixed here, you could go and sell some put option all the way down, or a put spread, and sell some put option, sell some call option at the top. And you could also do some in-out spread and sell some put options a little higher than the current price, and buy it back a little bit below the current stock price. You could play safe that way. So with that, thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.